All right, so I finished rebuilding the spindle and hub, got it put back in, and I moved on to the pumpkin down here. I don't have before video because, again, I'm not really thinking about it. But so this is Dana 44. I wanted to open this up to make sure there wasn't any crap in the bottom, and I'll tell you what, it's got some dust on it right now because I've cleaned up the face right there around the seal, so I can get it nice again. But looking in there, I mean, there was a little bit of sludge, but no shavings, no nothing. It's beautiful. The oil came out looking almost absolutely new. Very surprised by that. But then I got to looking at the numbers here. So these numbers, let me get a light here. Dana D, that 37245 is a part number. A3U is the date code. That 198, I believe it was made, at least these gears were made in 1998. The 42 and 13, that's your teeth. So 42 divided by 13 comes out to about 3.23, which is common for Dana 44s. So that way you know, hey, this is Dana 44. Also the bolt pattern, 10 bolts is Dana 44. I was kind of surprised at this because because the oil was so new and it showed such little signs of wear. But so I've again had this truck this time around since about 2007. I first got it in 2000 when I was a junior in high school. Sold it in 2003 because I didn't have, I had to move, didn't have anywhere to put it, and thought, you know what, I'll just sell it. Well, worst choice I've ever made with a vehicle, I think, because I love this truck. So I bought it back in 2007, and unless somebody rebuilt this Dana 44 in those years that I didn't have it, this was never touched by me. I didn't know what I was doing about anything, so I didn't ever mess with this stuff. So this was either put in by my uncle, who I bought this from, sometime after 1998, between 98 and 2000, or it was put in between 2003 and 2007. And either way, it's been at least, almost 20 years that this thing has been all right. And again, it has been sitting for about 6 years, but still, I'm very pleased with how nicely this has turned out. So I'm just cleaning it up. Got the cover and the parts washer, clean that up, and I'm gonna paint the pumpkin, clean all the dirt off this thing once I get it sealed back up, get oil in it. Very happy with these results. So yeah, thumbs up. Another way to tell this is a Dana 44, just in case you're curious about yours, is, well, it kind of says 44-8F right there. So there you go. These things do not have like a dedicated drain hole. So you want to drain this, you got to take this cover off. It does have a fill hole in the cover, but change the oil, you got to pull the whole damn thing off. Like I said, I am cleaning this up. Found a couple more numbers back here though. Got to do some research on the 346. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but this thing's kind of dirty. This might be some kind of breather vent. I'm not positive on that right now. So if anybody knows and anybody actually watches these videos, maybe let me know, because I like to learn things, and learn stuff every day is a way to do it. So I'll get over there and get a little shot of the cover. Here's that Dana 44 cover, all relatively cleaned up. Need to some paint prep on it. Now this thing did have quite a bit of corrosion on the inside here. So as it sits, this would be up and out of the oil. So it's pretty common that these will get corrosion on the inside up here at the top. I'm just gonna wire wheel that out of there, clean up this mating surface. And yeah, there's your drain, or your fill hole, because it doesn't have a drain hole. I want to make a joke with asshole right here, but I just don't know what to actually do, so I'm not gonna even try. But yeah, gotta make sure that thing is good to come out. get this painted, cleaned and painted. Looking all pretty. Stick it back on, fill it up.
Why does this take so long to fill up? It's so loud.
Cleaned up a bit, still got quite a bit of pitting in there. Not the best, but you know, it's all right. This side all, oops, sorry. This side all wire wheeled. I think I'm gonna prime this, paint it sparkly red or something, just for shits and giggles. Why not? I'm not trying to make it look like I got some fancy pumpkin in there, but I got the spray paint and the know-how. Not really. But anyway, it's not perfect. That seals. I might clean that up a little bit more, but like my woodshop teacher, Mr. Wilson, used to say, good enough for the girl you go with, right? And it is. It's good enough. Hey, here's Kitty. So, went ahead and painted this up last night. I can lose about anything within 2 seconds holding in my hand. I'm like a magician that doesn't get his own tricks. I couldn't find the damn plug for this because I took it out to clean the threads and plugged it up with a paper towel so I didn't get painted. But I spent 45 minutes looking around. I even cleaned my table. Look at how clean that is. Couldn't find it. And I realized I turned it around and stuck it in the back. So I didn't lose it, but I still lost it. My dad used to say, you'd lose your head if it wasn't screwed on, boy. Very true. Anyway, I'm gonna put some clear on this. Yeah, it's just rattle can job with some glitter spray paint, but whatever. Got the shop heater going this morning. Yeah, this cover's done drying. I buffed it just a little bit. Still got tons of orange peel on it. I didn't cut it with anything, but you know what? I think it's pretty shiny and sparkly, and it's gonna get disgusting. I even chipped some paint off with that buffer, so I'm gonna have to go back over that with a little bit of clear so it didn't rust again. But good enough. So as I was cleaning up the bolts and painted the plug for this rear diff cover, I thought it was just a tag that was covered in rust and dirt. I thought it was just a broken kind of tab that holds in the brake lines like this guy. But actually, upon closer inspection, see it says 4213 on it, which is the teeth of pinion and gears, and so 3.23, which is 42 divided by 13. So again, that tells you that this is a Dana 44. Gear ratio is 3.23 to 1. Pretty cool. I'm just gonna clear coat that and put it back where it was. I also figured I might as well take the time and paint the hardware. This truck's never really looked that pretty to anybody else but me, but I might as well try to make it nice as I go. Now these are beautifully paint matched to a 1997 Chevrolet Cavalier dashboard. Gotta love leftover paint. Also, I am aware that a lot of this paint's probably just gonna chip off as soon as I go to tighten these things. And if it happens, so be it. I'll just put more clear coat on after I torque them down, and then it'll at least look nice in some spots and have some patina in others. But I'm aware. Now I got the diff cover on the front here. It's painted and sparkly. It doesn't match anything else on this truck, not even the orange shock boots there, but I don't care. Got the bolts painted. I'm about to torque them down. For this 84 Dodge W150 Dana 44, it's 25 to 35 foot-pounds. I'm usually a max torque kind of guy, but I'm going to go for 30 foot-pounds. Make sure it doesn't leak after I fill it back up. Now, the front axle here, the Dana 44, capacity should be 3 pints. What I've got is just this economy, but full synthetic 75 W140 gear oil. it works pretty well for open differentials. Now, if you want to know if you've got an open differential versus a limited slip differential, if you have your diff cover off and you spin one side, you know, over here, spin that spindle, or that one over there, spin a wheel, just jack your front up, and if you spin one side and the opposite tire spins in the same direction, it's most likely a limited slip differential. But if it spins in opposite directions, it's a open differential. This one's open. It's not great for off-roading or traction or, you know, four-wheeling or stuff. It's mostly better for fuel economy. Like I said, this is a W150. It's four-wheel drive, sure, but it's the economy version, and it's a Prospector, so it's nothing super special. It's mine. I love it, but nothing that crazy. Limited slips, they got better traction, they better performance in snow and mud or when you're wheeling. So you can make it a limited slip, but this one unfortunately is not. I am not going to be making it a limited slip anytime soon. Everything in there looks brand new, so that's just how it's going to stay. But anyway, about 3 pints of 75 W140 full synthetic. I went ahead and flushed that out. I've got a new gasket. I'm not using RTV because if I have an opportunity to use a gasket, I'm going to use a gasket. RTV is great for some applications, but if you have a chance to use a gasket, I say just go ahead and get a gasket. But so I'm going to torque this down, and then I'll fill it up and go from there. But you know, she's coming along. Trying to clean her up and paint her and put lipstick on this pig as much as I can as I go. Alright, so got my click type torque wrench here set up to 30 foot-pounds. I'm not sure if you can see that because I can't really see it. I'm old and I need bifocals all the time, but I'm just gonna get on here and do a couple of these one-handed so I can hopefully give a good example of something. Now, you know, oh, there we go. I like to double click it, doing a little crosshatch pattern. So I'm gonna go from here up to here. Okay, this. And honestly, 30 foot-pounds isn't too much. Now, when you're torquing these bolts down or any bolts down, make sure you don't do it like a jerking motion. Pound on it. You want to make sure you go nice and slow. If you jerk on it, if you hit it too tight, that's going to over torque it. You know, let's do it. Also, if you're using a dog bone or you're at a right angle, there's different torque values. There's added percentages onto that. There's about 10%, I think, if it's on a 90-degree angle using a dog bone. No, that's all stuff we can get into some other time. But right now, I'm just going to torque these down to 30 foot-pounds. Then I'm going to knock off the paint that I chip off because I knew it was going to happen, but I don't care. It's going to look good-ish. And I'm going to clear coat everything so it doesn't rust anymore. So there you go. Going to go in a crosshatch pattern. This guy to this guy. Now I'm going to come over to the tag here. I'm going to torque that guy down, hopefully. If that starts moving, I'm going to switch over to the opposite side because I can't, I got to keep it in the right spot. But I want to be able to film. So I'm only doing this one gimp-handed. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Okay, so I'm not going to torque that one down. I'm going to switch to this guy. Hopefully you can see that because my GoPro is shut off the screen. So just double click. Now we'll come back up to this one. And I got my absolutely horrible homemade brake lines that I did back in 2009, but they suck. But anyway, that's the, I'm gonna replace these things, so if they bend, I don't care. There's a lot of the stuff that I just can't afford to care too much about, and you really shouldn't care too much about if you're doing things. But anyway, so I'm gonna click this down. I'm gonna get off here GoPro because I have such a hard time doing this with one hand. But anyway, I'll let you know as soon as I get everything taken care of. So I've got this torqued down now. I did 30 foot-pounds. 25 to 35 foot-pounds would be good. And, you know, I didn't cut and buff this differential cover. I just spray painted it with some red paint that was left over and some glitter paint and then some clear coat. The fasteners I painted with some primer, some self-etching primer, then some 97 Cavalier dashboard matching paint, and then a little bit of clear coat. And I tightened them down, and I knew that things like this were gonna happen, okay? I know that. And these bolts aren't perfect. But you know what? Neither am I. Neither are you. And that's okay. You gotta understand, you're doing things all right. You're okay. You're doing a good job. And you know what? You're doing great, honestly. So nothing has to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. And hell, 99.999% of us do not have the resources or the ability to do things like you see on YouTube every day. It is an unrealistic view of life. So when you watch this, just know that you're doing fine and you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Okay? Just keep trying as hard as you can and just make an effort every day to be better than you were the day before. And that really is all I could ever teach anybody, or the best advice I could give anyone. And I struggle to accept that advice myself, like we all do. Because who doesn't want to be perfect? But sometimes it's actually every time, all the time, perfection is unattainable. But what's not unattainable is being better than you were the day before. So you're doing a good job. Just keep trying. So I'm working on pouring this 75 W140 synthetic gear oil in the differential here. I've already poured 32 ounces of it in. I've got this little P funnel here, like pilots in Cobras, helicopters, use when they're flying around to relieve themselves. But don't make the mistake like I did in pouring the first one in just blindly, as much as you possibly can, and then it spilling out all over the place. But it's okay if you do. All that's gonna happen is it's gonna run down your arm a little bit. No big deal. But pour a little bit of that in, and we're gonna see where it comes up. About to the top. There we go. Then go ahead and lift it up, let gravity do its job. Now, you can't see it, but we're watching for it to come down out of that tube into the differential, and then once it gets full, you will know because it starts spilling out the fill hole. That's just how it is. Not a problem. Just got to be a little patient, a little careful, a little understanding. You know, just like with anything in life, it helps to have patience, understanding, and be careful with things. That's good advice for anybody, for anything, not just filling a differential. Here we go, keep going. And I'll probably end up putting too much and it'll start pissing out, which isn't a big problem, because then we know it's full. But I can't remember exactly what I said these things take earlier. 3 pints or something like that. I don't know. But you'll know it's full when it starts coming out. Ooh, I got a little bit. Looks like I might be almost there. Oh goodness. I'm gonna throw just a little bit more in there to make sure that that's not just, you know, weeping out from the tube. Not a whole lot, just a little bit, because I want to see. I want to see it actually push out. Now, I think that's it. But I'm going to take the camera after I have my hand off and look down here, because we should be able to see inside the transfer case itself. Let me grab this iPhone here. Come around here carefully, cover up the camera, and we'll take this. And let's see, look at that. Hopefully, no, I don't know. Nope, there we go. Maybe you can see in there. I don't think you can. I should flip the camera around. That is right there on the top. Give me 2 seconds. 1,000. 2 1,000. I'm just gonna have to stop it and turn around and do it because I can't figure this. There it is. So looks like it's about right up to that drain plug hole. Those threads look beautiful, don't they? Somebody cleaned those out, thinking ahead. Yes, so now we're ready to put that drain plug in, and as long as this gasket doesn't leak, which I would say it's not, that's just running down from the top. I don't see any wetness on the actual mating surface of the differential, between the differential and the cover. So I think we have that torqued down. Wipe this sparkly, beautiful little thing off, and put that cap back in, and we're done. Dana 44 front differential 84 W150 serviced.